Well, it's that time of the year, you guys. My annual top 10 movies of 2025 is dropping right now, and I'm so excited to share with you some honorable mentions, my top 10, my top 5, the number one movie of the year, in my opinion. And yes, I'm fully aware that some of you have a very strong opinion on Superman. In the background, you see I got the poster, and I'm here to tell you, for those who are hating, you're about to get even more upset. So let's get into it. What's going on, you guys? James here, and happy New Year's Eve. And if you're watching this on the new year, then happy New Year. We've made it. Glory to God. I'm so excited to talk to you now about my top 10 movies of 2025. This has been hard, all right? I've been thinking about this for a long time now. While I didn't watch as many movies this year as I did last year, I still think I saw some really strong contenders and movies that I'm very, very, very happy with. Some that I'm not, but that's not this list. We're doing a top 10. So we've got 5 honorable mentions, and then we'll get into my top 10. But before we do that, if it is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James, where I love talking about movies, TV, and all the news in between. So if you do too, and you need a home for movies this year, I'm talking 2026, hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, tap on that bell, like this video, y'all, and get loud in the comments below. Give me your top 10 of the year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be like Oscar contending films. It can be any film you saw this year. What is your number one? I'm very curious because some of you probably would not be surprised with my number one, and some of you might be surprised with what's in my top 10. Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit, guys. But right now, it's time to get started with my 5 honorable mentions for 2025. We're going to start with the first honorable mention, and that is Wake Up, Dead Man, directed by Rian Johnson. He's been doing this for 3 movies now, right? So we've had Knives Out, we've had Glass Onion, and now we've got Wake Up, Dead Man. This film, to me, I mean, it is the best of the 3. And that's not to say that this movie's incredible, but it is pretty darn solid. There are instances where I'm like, ooh, this is challenging me a little bit, but, I was sticking to my guns. Because it does surround a lot of, the Catholic Church, things like that. I'm not Catholic, but it does get into God, and it gets into what happens when you die and what happens when you're here on earth. So, yeah, it can be challenging for some audiences. However, I will say this is the most well done in terms of the story of the 3. I think Josh O'Connor, he's great. He does such a good job as the priest here, and Josh Brolin also crushes it. So the movie itself is pretty darn good, and I do think it's the strongest of the 3, so it's worthy of an honorable mention. Now, my second honorable mention is Highest to Lowest, directed by Spike Lee. Listen, I know some audiences were not happy with this film, but when I see Spike Lee link up with Denzel Washington, I'm sat, okay? They get together, we're watching. So the movie itself is loosely adapting the film High to Low by Akira Kurosawa, and that movie it's an excellent film. It will test your patience a little bit in the first act, but it's very good. Now with Highest to Lowest, you don't have that slow pace. I would say that the movie takes a little bit of time, maybe 20 minutes in the first act, and we're hitting it. We know where this movie's going. I like Denzel Washington's performance here. I loved what Spike Lee did and some of his Spike Lee-isms throughout this film. There were some issues in the third act for me. I don't think A$AP Rocky was that great in this film. I don't know. There were some instances where I thought the acting was pretty poor from some of our supporting cast, like the dude Mayhem from the Allstate commercials. He's really bad in this film. Like, it is just too on the nose. Like, we get it. You're the white cop who's very racist and looks down on, unfortunately, Black and Hispanic people. So the movie itself has some deficiencies, but for the most part, the score is excellent. One of the best scores of the entire year. It's got this jazz infusion, and I do love the chase sequence here. So Highest to Lowest, I still had a very fun time, and it was a really good film to see with a packed audience. Next up is a film that is probably going to make a lot of people's top 10, but it didn't crack mine, and that is F1 the movie. I'm a huge F1 fan. Red Bull Racing, here we are. Max Verstappen, love you, and then we got a new driver in the second seat, okay? Isaac Hadjar, but that's besides the point. F1 the movie does a very good job at feeling like Top Gun with cars, or Top Gun Maverick with cars, because remember, Joseph Kosinski directed Top Gun Maverick, and it was one of the best action movies ever. It's so darn good, and it has a lot of heart, which F1 the movie does, but it could have had more heart. I think what would have put it into the top 10 for me is if they focused on Damson Idris's character a little bit more. But F1 the movie has some incredible cinematography by Claudio Miranda, I believe is his name. And then you have Brad Pitt doing what Brad Pitt does, which is like walks into a room and is just like, hey, I'm Brad Pitt, and everyone's thinking that this guy's got swag, this guy's got aura, you know? So he's very good in this role, and I don't know. I just love a good racing movie. You know, I got Ford versus Ferrari, now we got F1 joining the ranks. So yeah, F1 the movie is just, it's very good. It's very, very good, and it's still worth a watch, and especially if now you're watching it at home, get that sucker in 4K. It's going to look and sound great. Alrighty, let's get into my fourth honorable mention here, and that is The Long Walk, directed by Francis Lawrence, who you might know from the Hunger Games movies. But The Long Walk is a film that, I'm not going to lie, I don't gravitate towards these type of films usually. But boy, oh boy, was there a good amount of emotional complexity in this film, and it worked with these young men. Like, they're young men. They're not more than like 16, 17, maybe 18 years old. Maybe at that. But the cast, it's an ensemble cast, but the cast is very good. I loved how the film gets more into the psyche of the characters versus just the game that they're playing, right? They had to continue walking, and if they stop once, well, you can't do that more than 3 times. If not, or if you do, you get shot, and that's not great. But The Long Walk, I had the pleasure of seeing twice, and the second time I hosted a post-screening Q&A with the audience, and it was such a blessing, honestly. I can't wait to do more of that in the new year. But The Long Walk is a film that is not for the faint of heart. You need to have an iron stomach, and you can't be eating any red meat when you watch this movie. Just trust me. But The Long Walk is worth a watch if you're looking for something that is going to be gripping, pretty suspenseful, and I love the ending because David Johnson is the standout here. He's excellent, and I love him in everything he's been in since I've seen Rye Lane, but The Long Walk is just so good. So let's get into my fifth honorable mention, and this was a late comer. This is like a late addition, y'all. That's why I do these lists last week of the year. David, directed by Phil Cunningham and Brent Dawes, and it's a faith-based film on the story of David. He's facing Goliath, and then he gets into his young adult years, and he's being primed to be the next king. So, like, there are things that happen here that are biblically sound. For me, the animation and the music really, really was the cherry on top. It looked good, sounded good. I thought the voice work was fine. Some good standouts, like young David, I thought was better than Phil Wickman's voice performance for the older David. But man, David was just a fun film, and I thought it would be good with families. I don't have one yet, but David is definitely a movie that surprised me, because I ain't gonna hold you. Historically, there are some faith-based films that just don't have good production value, but David, man, David looked really good. So yeah, I really enjoyed the film, and it's worthy of an honorable mention. So those are the 5 honorable mentions I have. What are your guys's? Let me know down below. But now it's time to get into my top 10 of 2025. And let me tell y'all something. This was very hard this year, okay? But I'm pleasantly surprised by this, like, superhero renaissance of sorts, because I'm not going to hold y'all. MCU and the Infinity Saga, awesome, great, bangers after bangers. Multiverse Saga, not so good. DC, in shambles. James Gunn comes in with Peter Safran, and they're switching everything up, right? And yeah, there are some superhero films that make their way into my top 10, beginning with number 10, and that is The Fantastic Four: First Steps, directed by Matt Shakman, starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Eben Moss-Bachrach, and Joseph Quinn. This film was something it was a film I'm very excited for anyway, and then when I sat down and watched it, I thought, Matt Shakman, yeah, genius. You're such a genius. Remember his work on WandaVision really helped bring or prime him for this director's, like, responsibility. I mean, I don't even know how I'm saying that properly, but The Fantastic Four: First Steps would not have been a great film if it wasn't for Matt Shakman. He understands this, like, very retro futuristic style in the 60s, if I'm not mistaken, something that he played around with in WandaVision. So I really enjoyed what he brought to the table. Then you got the ensemble cast that we just talked about. They're just very good. Ralph Ineson as Galactus was incredible. I do think that Fantastic Four First Steps, in my opinion, is exactly what most of the films in the Infinity Saga, or Multiverse Saga, excuse me, should have been. There's a level of quality here. It's very good, and it's solid. There are some instances where I thought in this movie, yeah, the script was a little weak, or maybe I could have spent more time in this area. But for the most part, this is a film that I thought, oh my gosh, why didn't we get more of these movies in the MCU post the Infinity Saga? So, yeah, guys, I thought Fantastic Four First Steps was really solid. And shout out to Michael Giacchino. Your musical composition here is chef's kiss. My gosh, it was so good, you guys. The score is on repeat. It's still on repeat. Found its way into my Apple Music replay. I won't lie to you. So, Fantastic Four First Steps is in my top 10 for a good reason. All right, now let's get into my number 9, which is going to surprise some people, because this movie is most likely ending up in a lot of different lists, their top 3, their top 5, but it's my number 9, and that is Marty Supreme, directed by Josh Safdie, starring Timothée Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kevin O'Leary, and Odessa Azion. Now, Marty Supreme is a really darn good film, you guys. Like, it is really good, like 4.5 out of 5, easy, right? The film itself takes what you love about Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler and brings it into the world of ping pong. And Timothée Chalamet is the perfect driver for this film. This is a good vehicle for him, I would say. The movie itself is going to help get him an Oscar nomination. It will. He's going to be nominated, no doubt in my mind. But the movie is also unashamed to be what it is. We see Timothée Chalamet on his press tour for this film. He's assuming the character of Marty Supreme, very arrogant, cocky, egotistical player who is very talented, but his ego is his downfall. So we sort of get the rise and the fall for this character of Marty Supreme. We're following his life as he's trying to become the best ping pong player in the world. I like that he gets humbled. I like that he does things that are super unconventional, but the film itself, sure, it's got some things I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. I wouldn't really, okay. They're sensual themes of sorts, right? But Marty Supreme has an incredible sense of direction. Josh Safdie, in my opinion, is the best of the two Safdie brothers. Timothée Chalamet is one of the best actors in Hollywood, hands down. Never thought I would say that, but Dune Part 1 changed my mind on him. And then you got some legends, right? You got Gwyneth Paltrow, who's here just to be in a supporting role, but compliments Timothée Chalamet very well. I loved Odessa Azion. I thought she was like a scene stealer in this movie. She plays Timothée Chalamet's romantic interest in this film, but the movie just has great acting, great directing, and awesome, awesome music. So, yeah, when you sit down and watch this one, please make sure you got some rest ahead of time, because you're going to be very exhausted after this film. Alrighty, so let's get into number 8, a movie that came in to my top 10, again, late. Did not think this was going to be the case, because the movie, I thought, ugh, it's like another war movie by the same director who did Civil War? But Warfare, at my number 8, was a great time, even though it was really hard to watch. It's directed by Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland, and it stars Will Poulter, Joseph Quinn, Michael Gandolfini, and Defero Atai. Munatai, I think is his last name. I hope I pronounced that properly. But this film is visceral. A lot of people said it's too simplistic. Why are we watching a movie with this? Like, the story doesn't really lend itself to something that's worthy of an hour and a half runtime. I'm sorry, it worked for me, okay? I liked getting to know these soldiers, this company, right? They are, of course, doing what, back in the day when U.S. was in Iraq, and it was pretty bad in the Middle East, honestly. They were just sort of scoping out this house, and looking for what they believe were terrorists. So it is a film that will rip your heart out in times. I mean, my stomach was turning upside down. The sound design is arguably the best of the year. I mean, the sound design here is excellent. But for me, it was really the addition of Ray Mendoza that helped. This guy, not just a guy, but like he was a former soldier, so he's bringing in the authenticity. Alex Garland, again, directed Civil War, which is a great film, but I guess Alex Garland is doing a lot of war movies. There's a little bit of commentary here in this movie if you kind of look deep enough, but I loved what this movie delivered on, and I was on the edge of my seat, okay? There was a moment in time where I'm eating the popcorn, and I had to stop because I'm just too tense. So, yeah, Warfare is definitely worthy of that number 8 spot. Let's get into number 7, and that is Predator Badlands, directed by Dan Trachtenberg, starring Elle Fanning, and Demetrius Schuster Colomontangi. And I said Elle Fanning twice because if you know, you know. All right. This movie is so good. Okay. Dan Trachtenberg basically took the Predator franchise and said, hey, we know you had a great first film. Everything after that's been subpar. I'm going to elevate this franchise. He did it with Prey. He did it with Predator, Killer of Killers. And now he's doing it with Predator Badlands. Listen, Predator Badlands is so fun, but it's the first time I ever felt something for one of the Predators in a Predator movie. And for good reason. People were like, oh, you're softening the Predators. Nah, dog. Just because a clan of species of humans or whatever are known for one thing doesn't mean everything or everyone in that clan are going to agree with the leader. And that's the case here, you know? I thought Deck, one of the main Predator here, is awesome. Elle Fanning does a very good job with the back and forth there. It's just such a fun time. But then you look at your watch and you're like, oh my gosh, it's over? Like, the pacing is excellent in this film. Predator Badlands is a movie I can't wait to own here at home on 4K. I just can't wait to watch it again and again. The rewatchability factor is very high here, and it just proves that Dan Trachtenberg knows what he's doing. And I don't know, man. I just love the direction they're heading in with the Predator franchise. Unlike Alien, because Alien Earth I did not like too much, but Predator, they're in good hands. Alrighty, so coming in at number 6 is another superhero film, guys. Thunderbolts, directed by Jake Schreier, starring Florence Pugh, David Harbour, Lewis Pullman, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Now, I know I've been on record plenty of times saying that Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, or whatever the character's name is, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, not my favorite. This movie, at least a little bearable, but it's the rest of the cast, it's the story, it's the direction, it's the action. Oh, it's so good, you guys. I came out of Thunderbolts and I said this, and I promise you I said this. Why has the MCU not been producing films like this? This film is the mark of what the MCU could have been in the multiverse saga. You know, I mean, that's why Thunderbolts, in my opinion, is one of the best superhero movies of the year. It's not the best, but it's one of the best. And Jay Schreier was the perfect director for this. I think there's a rumor going around that he's going to be directing the X-Men film for Marvel Studios. And if that's the case, great. Because the character studies here. The way that they were able to dive into the psyche of Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova and David Harbour's character, there's a scene under the bridge that I thought, you know what? Nominate Florence Pugh. She should be nominated for an Oscar for that performance. Single scene alone was just incredible, but her performance overall is just great. I mean, I think she's one of the best actors or actresses working in Hollywood, but in the MCU, man, she's so darn solid. She's so good. And I thought that the action was awesome. Lewis Pullman surprised the heck out of me. I know it was supposed to be Stephen Yeun in that role, but Lewis Pullman, man, what a good job that he did. I know people are like, oh, Nepo baby, but like, dude, he's a good actor. Like, he did a very good job in this film. And the Shadow Realm sequences, whoo-wee. Buddy, oh buddy, I can't wait to rewatch this movie. I don't even own it on 4K yet, and I want to. I'm gonna go on Amazon right now, dog. Alrighty, you guys, so now it's time to enter into my top 5, beginning with number 5, and that is Hamnet, directed by Chloe Zhao, starring Jessie Buckley, Paul Mescal, and Jacoby Jupe. Here's a film that I know some people are going to look at this and be like, oh, it's based on like a Shakespeare thing. It's going to be slow. It's going to be this. No. Okay. I love a good slow burn. And this was well worth the time that you spend in the first act, even in the second act, to build to that emotional third act. I cried. I don't care what anyone says. I was moved to tears. All right. Jessie Buckley's performance is incredible here. So is Paul Mescal's. Now, there is a supporting actor in the third act that I thought did a great job. And they only had like that scene where they were acting out the play. But I think that Chloe Zhao is one of the absolute best directors working in Hollywood. What she does is she brings her style and she invokes it into everything she does. I like the Eternals. I don't care what anyone says, okay? Chloe Zhao also did a very darn good job here with Hamnet. She is one of the best directors that also brings out the most of their actors. Like Jessie Buckley here, there are some instances where I'm like, I've never seen anyone give birth like this before on camera. Like, you felt it in your gut, you know? So Hamnet is definitely a beautiful film, also a heartbreaking movie, but it does chronicle how William Shakespeare eventually writes the play Hamlet. So, man, I don't know. This is just so good. I can't even say too much more because I kind of want y'all to be surprised when you watch the movie. Not that there's like many surprises, but Hamnet is a film that when you go into it, just know it will be an emotional roller coaster. Stick with it, and you will be rewarded by that third act. It's so good, guys. It's so darn good and definitely worthy of the number 5 spot for me. So let's get into number 4, y'all. I know y'all been waiting. Coming in at number 4 is Frankenstein, directed by Guillermo del Toro, starring Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, and Mia Goth. Funny story, I was supposed to see this in theaters, and, well, things happened. You know what I mean? Things happened, and I could not do it. So I was waiting for my screener on Netflix. Unfortunately, did not get it, but decided to sit down, watch this film when it dropped on Netflix for everybody, and I'm very glad I did because Guillermo del Toro hardly misses. Yeah, Nightmare Alley was terrible, but like everything else, Shape of Water, Pan's Labyrinth, now Frankenstein, come on. The dude is great. He's stylistic. There is a very specific style in this movie that if you don't like it, you probably won't love the film. But for me, I loved it. I loved the deep dive into Frankenstein and the creature. Jacob Elordi, oh my gosh. Listen, when I saw Two Hearts, that film he starred in, I thought, this guy is terrible. I saw Euphoria and I thought, oh, he can act. And now I'm seeing Frankenstein. This man can definitely act, okay? The voice he puts on for the creature is incredible. His mannerisms, his movements. Then you got Oscar Isaac complimenting him so well. And a scene stealer in this film is Mia Goth. Like, the outfits were just amazing anyway. Like, the entire costume department did their big one on this. But Mia Goth is very good at bringing this emotional layer to the film. And I think that she's very talented regardless. But in this movie, her and Jacob Elordi have this chemistry. And you root for him, okay? So it's a very good film. It's shot well. I don't know. I love Guillermo del Toro's style. So, of course, I'm going to love Frankenstein. And it is something that I think is worthy of being in anyone's top 10. It's very good, guys. It's very good. Now, it's not as good as these next 3 movies because we're about to get into my top 3, you guys. And I know this next movie is going to make some people upset. I've already had people in my comments say ridiculous things like, your credibility's cut in half because you like this movie, or just so you know, liking this movie means you're not a good critic. Like, please go somewhere with that, okay? Kick rocks, because I don't care what anyone says. And my number 3 is Superman, directed by James Gunn, starring David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, and Nicholas Hoult, even Eddie Gathegi, who's the scene stealer for me, guys. I love him as Mr. Terrific. But I don't care what anyone says. Superman, this version of Superman, James Gunn finally gets it. He understands the character like no other director has for a live-action adaptation of Superman. This is the definitive Superman for me. He is hopeful. He's optimistic. He's human. He hurts. He cries. He feels things. He is Superman, okay? And Superman is one of my favorite superheroes. He's right after my number 1, which is Spider-Man. And whether it be Clark Kent or Supes, it's just so good. This movie is excellent. I walked out of the theater very happy because James Gunn, I get it. Some people don't like the fact that he has like a lot of humor in his movies and stuff, but he understands the character of Superman very well, and it bleeds onto the screen. You know, you got cute elements like Crypto, and you got fun moments with the Justice Gang, but at the core of this movie is heart. It's soul. It's being human and helping your neighbor. Listen, this movie was preaching a little bit, okay? There was an underlying theme here, which is love thy neighbor, right? And that's what Superman's all about, and that's what James Gunn nails in this movie. So, gosh, I can't tell you how much I love this film. I mean, there's not enough words to express how much I love this movie. And that's why it's my number 3. And you're probably thinking, why is that your number 3 if you love it that much? Well, get a load of this. My top 2, there are some, it was just mind blowing. And it's so hard because like Superman's 5 out of 5 for me, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's 5 out of 5. Number 2 is One Battle After Another. Oh, shit, I just spoiled it. All right, let's get into it. My number 2 is One Battle After Another, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Chase Infinity, Tiana Taylor, and Sean Penn. And yeah, this movie's a 5 out of 5 for me, man. I know that there are people that will say the movie's a little overrated to a degree, and I understand that criticism. But for me, One Battle After Another, watching it in IMAX, not 70 millimeter, unfortunately, but watching it in IMAX was just a breathtaking experience. Paul Thomas Anderson clearly is one of the best directors to do it. Not all of his movies I'll watch or even I've liked, but I recognize his talent. And One Battle After Another is a film that brings together some of the best actors in Hollywood, some up-and-comers like Chase Infinity, who stole the absolute movie for me. She is so good. Nominate her Academy, but she is so good in this film. The thing is, for me, though, it's Benicio del Toro and Leonardo DiCaprio's moments that made me laugh, made me feel, made me anxious sometimes, but they're so good. And this movie has a lot of moments that you'll just continue to remember long after you leave the theater. And One Battle After Another imprinted on me that, listen, say what you want to say about like the quality of movies in Hollywood, but One Battle After Another might not be for everyone. It's for me, though, and it shows me that there are some incredible original films coming out. Even though I know this is adapted from a novel, it's still like, it's original to the degree that you've never heard of this story. You've never really dove into these revolutionaries before. It's just incredible. Okay, One Battle After Another score is also really good, and golly, man, I got the poster in the background for a reason. Okay, it's just absolutely incredible. Shout out to my boy for hooking it up with that poster. But yeah, just such a great film, and it's a movie that you need to see, hopefully on the biggest screen that you can and the best sound that you can deliver. But man, so good. But now it's time for my number 1 film, you guys. So it's not Superman, it's not One Battle After Another. Heck, it's not even Frankenstein or Hamnet. What is number 1, right? You're probably thinking, man, I've heard some films that you just talked about, and those are people's number 1s. Nah, dog. My number 1 is Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler, starring Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, Delroy Lindo, and Miles Caton. Guys, this film, Ryan Coogler, legend, okay? I already love him as a director so much. Fruitvale Station, Creed, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. The guy's on a generational run right now, okay? And then you bring back him reuniting with Michael B. Jordan, and then you got Haley Steinfeld, Delroy Lindo. I mean, goodness gracious, Miles Canton. Miles, that man can sing and he can act. That's amazing. I know he's more up and coming, but Miles Caton just did such a great job here. The film is definitely not my typical cup of tea. That's why I'm surprised it's even number 1, to be honest with you. I'm not a horror guy. I don't really like vampire movies. Blade was pretty good. But like, you know what I mean, right? The thing is, this movie it's not just a vampire film. It's a really good social commentary. It's got a lot of very, like, how do I say? It's got good character study. You know, it's a tight film. The script is tight. The movie doesn't go longer than it needs to, but it works for me. And the cinematography by Autumn Arkapaw, Autumn Durald Arkapaw, I believe is her full name. Incredible. Like, when I watched this in IMAX and the ratio changed, I got so excited, I almost flipped out of my chair. But the audience was in it. It was fun, funny, scary sometimes. You know, it's not a film that I would say I typically gravitate towards, but I really liked it. It's a really amazing vampire movie. It's just a great film overall. I can't tell you enough how much I enjoyed all the acting. But Michael B. Jordan, do you know how badly I want him to win the Oscar? Do you know how badly I want him to win the Oscar? He had to play 2 characters, all right? Smoke and Stack, all right? Like, so cool, man. This movie is just awesome, okay? Ain't no one doing it like Ryan Coogler. And that's the honest truth. There's nobody in Hollywood doing it like Ryan Coogler. If you don't believe me, watch the film, get to the sequence in the juke joint where they go through the different, I guess, genres of music, the influence by black musicians, the different like Afrofuturism that they play with. It's so phenomenal. Okay, so yeah, Sinners is awesome, and it's a great film, and it's my favorite of the year. Like I watched it once and I'm like, oh man, yeah, this is that stuff. Okay, and then I watched it in 70mm IMAX. Absolutely blown away. The movie, it's a cinematic achievement in every sense of the word, and Ryan Coogler and the crew should be incredibly proud. Yeah, it's just you can't find the right words sometimes to describe how amazing this film is. So, Sinners for me, #1 movie of the year, the best. Ryan Coogler, go get your Oscar, sir. I really want you to get that directing Oscar. This is a phenomenal film. And there you have it. That's my top 10 movies of 2025, you guys. All right, listen, I know some of you probably skipped to #1. So if you want to need me to recap on everything, all right, I'll recap it for you. Gosh, I had to do all the work around here, huh? No, I'm kidding. Alrighty, so let's go and recap. So #10, Fantastic Four, First Steps. #9, Marty Supreme. #8, Warfare. #7, Predator Badlands. #6, Thunderbolts. #5, Hamnet. #4, Frankenstein. #3, Superman. #2, One Battle After Another. And #1, Sinners. So there you have it, you guys. It's my top 10 movies of 2025. But the most fun part about these videos is really hearing from you. I need to know your top 10 down below in the comments. So get loud. Let me know. And if you've already made it this far in the video and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Please subscribe and help me out. Let's get to 31,000 and beyond. I mean, I want to hit 50K in the new year. Come on now. And I'm just so grateful that we did it. We saw another year together. Thank you for your support. If you're new here, thanks for joining the real fam. I appreciate you guys so much. God bless you guys. I pray that this new year brings you health and joy, and may the Lord protect you, your family, loved ones, and relationships. So guys, again, there you have it. My top 10 movies of 2025. And I know, I can hear it down the street. People are mad at me for putting Superman on my top 3, but who cares? All right. The DC is saved. Or the DCU is saved? Yeah, I don't know, guys. But it's in good hands with James Gunn. So there you go, you guys. That's my top 10. I'm going to head out of here and get ready for the new year. We got more movies coming, more TV coming, more reactions coming. So stay tuned, and thanks for sticking with me. Thanks all again for watching. God bless you guys, and I'll catch you at the next screening.